welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be discussing all things fall DIY, whether that be pretty things or smelly good things or just really anything in general that is DIY fall items. So I am going to be sharing multiple things with you today. These are things that I love so much, and I think they are super easy to like tie into your fall decor and super affordable as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start it right off. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is a fall simmer pot. Now simmer pots right now are super popular, and for good reason. They smell incredible. So a couple weeks ago I set up at a fall vintage market, and I actually took it upon myself to sell some pre-made simmer pot bags. So these were filled with ingredients like oranges, fresh rosemary, cinnamon sticks, and clove. You can really adjust this to whatever scents you want. If you wanted to add in some apple, you could. If you wanted to take away any of those scents, you could. If you're creating these at home and wanting to make your own simmer pot, you can even add dashes of like vanilla extract or any type of essential oils, things like that. But the idea behind this is to bring in some more natural elements and simmer them in a pot, and it just makes your house smell so good, and it is like fragrance free as far as all of the chemicals and all the things that candles might bring. Even though I love a good candle, simmer pots are just healthier, I guess you can say, and they just look very, very pretty. So the next fall DIY is something that is so easy, and that is printing off landscape art pictures. So I feel like this is kind of a repetitive DIY, but again, for good reason. It's super affordable. They are really easy to swap out, and there are tons of options to choose from. These are super affordable, and most of these come from Etsy, or at least the ones that I have in my home. So you simply just purchase the PDF off of Etsy, print that off wherever you want to. I typically go to Walgreens just because they do have really good discount codes that you can get 40, 50, 60% off, and you can't beat those deals. So I recently went to Walgreens and printed off a couple of new landscape art pictures for fall that kind of bring in those really pretty and traditional fall colors into my home. But to give it a little bit of a twist and make it look a little more vintage, you can add Mod Podge to these pictures, and it will help kind of cloud it up a little bit and give it that vintage flair as if you found it at an antique store rather than printing it new at a print shop. Okay, next thing I want to mention are spray painting your florals that you no longer want. So I absolutely loved the Hobby Lobby hydrangeas that were out this year in the fall line. They were absolutely beautiful in my opinion, loved them. I think they came in like 3 different colors. They had ones that were more like burgundy mauves. They had some that were kind of ivory, and then they had like a more like rust color, I believe. I knew I wanted to get my hands on some of those, but I also knew I did not want to spend $7 per stem. In my opinion, it's kind of high, especially when you want multiple. So I was looking around in my bundle of florals that I have, and I had some just white hydrangeas that I have gotten from Walmart, and also found some at the thrift store one day. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna create these myself, a much cheaper version. So I ended up just going to Walmart and buying some spray paint, and I spray painted these flowers, and you honestly would not be able to tell. They are beautiful. And like I said, the ones that I used were white. They were from Walmart. I already had them, but the white ones at Walmart are like $3 a stem compared to $7 at Hobby Lobby. I was able to spray paint almost all of my hydrangeas with 1 can of spray paint. So again, saving a lot of money there, but I love how they look. They have such a rich, beautiful color. I ended up using the espresso color from Rust-Oleum paint, and it was so pretty, the perfect touch. And then I went in with 2 different other shades and just kind of like misted it on these stems, or on the flower, and it just kind of gave it a little bit of color variation. That way they looked a little more realistic. Topic of flowers and just pretty greenery and whatnot, I do want to mention I absolutely love making and having these dried magnolia wreaths in my home. So these are things that I have been selling recently again at fall markets. I love them. Me and my mom just go in her backyard and collect the magnolia leaves that have fallen from her tree in her backyard and literally just get a grapevine wreath and hot glue it to them. It is extremely simple, but they are stunning, absolutely stunning. I've had my wreath for several years now, and the only thing is you don't want to leave it in direct sunlight simply because it is hot glue. So if it warms up, you know, it'll start to kind of move the leaves a little bit because the glue will be melting. But I keep mine under my covered porch in the fall, and it has been in great condition for multiple years. So if you have access to a magnolia tree, highly recommend trying to make one of these yourselves. They are beautiful, and the leaves are just so large. They are beautiful. They have some rust colors, they have brown colors. If you catch them kind of right when they fall, you can get a little bit of a color variation with like the oranges, yellows, and greens in there. Those are really pretty as well, but I love how they look. And again, you can make a stunning wreath for next to nothing. Just simply need the grapevine wreath. And if you don't want to buy a brand new grapevine wreath, check out a thrift store. I'm sure you can find some for really inexpensive. Alright, you guys, that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this short and sweet fall DIY video. I hope you tried the simmer pots out, give those vintage prints a little bit of Mod Podge for an antique flair, and don't forget to spray paint your florals. They can go a very long way and you'll be able to use them for years to come by switching it up. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. I would love to have you, and definitely hit that bell notification. That way you're notified every time I post. I post every Monday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.